Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel, and yet again we are here for round 2 of the organic full face, and I'm featuring all organic only makeup. And yeah, I'm super excited for this because I did achieve this really glamorous look and using all organic products. Can you believe it? It's super pigmented, super fun to apply, and I did everything from skincare prep all the way to lips. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, so let's just go into the first product. Alright, to prep my skin, I'm going to be using the Ere Perez Green Booster Serum, and this has a whole load of ingredients behind, but it's primarily going to be like a radiance and hydrating type of serum, and I really love the color. It's like a very chlorophyll kind of green. It kind of smells like green juice for some reason. I think it's primarily to do with like the chlorophyll and the hyaluronic acid, but this does not have any like artificial fragrance that I can smell, so it feels really quite, you know, organic in that sense, in the way that it smells. I'm just gonna apply it like all over my face really quickly. And like I mentioned, there is no noticeable fragrance. I've used this a couple of times and I feel like it sinks into the skin really quickly. So I do like to apply quite a lot of this. I feel like this will work best on dehydrated oily skin, not so much dry skin, unless you layer this with your other products. But for me, I feel like this is sufficient. Okay, because today I'm probably wanting to really get pretty dewy and a very vibrant kind of appearance, so I felt like the serum didn't really do the trick, so I'm going to be using the 8 Faces Boundless Face Oil, and I'm just going to apply that to the tops of my cheeks. But it is a solid oil. I've had mine for quite a while, so I might need to put this in the fridge again. I'm just taking a little bit on my hands and really warming it up, then kind of rubbing it to the tops of my cheeks and the high points of my face. So that will give me the glow in the high point areas and really allow for the makeup to adhere to the skin, because I do find that this solid oil doesn't feel too slippy. It actually has quite a tacky finish. Alright, the next product is from Ere Perez. It's their Papaya SOS kind of multi-purpose balm. I haven't used this before, but I love the texture. It feels almost like the solid oil. The solid oil actually feels a lot more like a mousse. I do have to put that in the fridge like I mentioned, but I'm just using this like a balm on my lips. It's a multi-purpose balm, so you can use it anywhere really. And I know it's pretty unhygienic for me to keep dipping back into this, but this is my own and it's for my personal use. I also like to put this into my brows, and also because it is a multi-purpose balm, I like to put it on my elbows because I do get pretty dry here as well. I'm going to quickly mention these 2 lip products. They are kind of like lip care products from Henne Organics, and yeah, I really like their lip serum. It comes in this really beautiful packaging. It's very weighted with a roller ball. I already have something on my lips, but I guess I could apply it again. It's just a very thin, it feels oily, but it almost feels like water on the lips. Like it's a very thin texture, but yeah, it truly is super luxurious, and it doesn't have any fragrance as well, not that I can pick up on. But yeah, all the information will be in the description box. But yeah, this is super lovely to have like as an office must-have. But I've been really liking this at my desk side essential, so like things that I put beside my laptop whenever I need to just apply it during work. And this is their lip mask. And yeah, it's just super beautiful. It feels more balmy than other things that I'm used to, so it's more gonna be like a lip balm, but it's really thick, so it performs like a lip mask. So you can definitely use this like, you know, overnight or the day or something like that. So you can just apply it and leave it on, and look at this color. It's like so bright, and it's really it's a really balmy yet whipped texture on your lips, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really love having these two, and I find that when I wake up in the morning there's like zero dry skin on my lips, so it's really nice. Alright, so the first product I'll be applying is the Oat Milk Foundation from Ere Perez, and I'm not sure because I don't really notice the quantity inside these squeezy tubes because sometimes the material is pretty hard, but when I got this and I squeezed it all the way down, it pretty much went up to here. So I don't really know whether or not that's the full quantity because it says 30 ml, and to be honest this doesn't really seem like 30 ml, but yeah, I mean it is what it is. It's just, and yeah, I'm in the shade Chai. I got a little bit of a darker shade because I don't really want to over bronze today. Okay, so I'm just dispensing it. It comes out pretty firm a texture. So previously I applied this with my fingers. I didn't really love the texture of it, but I'm gonna try a sponge this time. I'm gonna do it on half my face. One light layer. You can still see my imperfections, but I do feel like compared to this side, it definitely gave me a little bit of coverage. It's not like it's completely nothing, but yeah, this is with natural light like I mentioned, and it looks like that. My skin feels very well hydrated, and I really like the combination of the serum with this because previously when I did not apply anything or I applied too heavy or too greasy a base, it really didn't sit well, but that serum itself was very light and it synced into my skin really well, so it didn't interfere with this formulation. But yeah, not much coverage at all. I really like how it makes my skin look because I generally like this kind of a finish. It just is naturally enhancing and nothing too crazy. Yeah, I understand that this foundation also is a little bit dark for me, but I do prefer that because when I conceal, it will brighten up my face. Alright, next from Ere Perez would be their Honey Concealer, and not called the Honey Concealer, it's called the Arnica Concealer in the shade Honey, and I really do like this. There's only a little bit of a downside, but it's a very texture kind of issue, but I'm just gonna apply it first. I just go in with a sponge. This has a lot of coverage, by the way, so it will really balance out the foundation earlier, which didn't really have that much coverage. But yeah, I was just gonna say that like on the fingers, and I usually like to apply concealers with my fingers, it has this very gritty texture. It's like, I wouldn't say sand, it's not like sand, it just has this, it isn't smooth like cream, so I'm not really sure what's that about. But yeah, maybe I got a bad batch, but it really isn't the same as the RMS concealer which I have, and that one was really dewy and very smooth a texture, but this one has a little bit of a gritty feeling, but it doesn't translate or doesn't feel like anything on the skin, but it's just in the pot it feels a little bit gritty, so that's just something to note. But this is the kind of concealer where, you know, if you want like a lot of coverage to maintain on, let's say, a pimple or something like that, you just have to like put it there and just blend around it. You don't like just repeatedly blend it on the spot because you will reduce the coverage just like any other concealer. This concealer definitely does crease, so you have to set it with powder if you don't want it to crease like that. It's super beautiful, very natural, and it has a, I would say, a satin kind of a finish. It isn't dewy or isn't matte. Okay, so I'm going to use the Ere Perez Aloe Gel Brow and Lash Mascara, but I used it just for my brows. It's like a clear brow gel, and yeah, I'm just going to brush it through. And to prevent like the whole aloe vera gel to like discolor, after each use, I basically wipe it off with a tissue. I think this product is primarily, honestly, just aloe vera gel, so I assume you can use the same concept and just use whatever aloe vera gel you have at home as your brow setter. From the brand All Natural, they have these multi-sticks, and I have the shade, the bronzing shade, which I believe only comes in one shade unfortunately, and they are multi-shade in this really vibrant orange, and I've used this since like end of last year, but after prolonged use I really like to somewhat mix and match, so I just go in with a little bit of the orangey shade and I mix it in with the bronzing stick so that it gives me my custom kind of shade that I'm looking for. But this bronzing shade on its own is beautiful. I just find it to be a little bit more, you know, like chiseling out the features, but I'm actually looking for just an overall bronze. And then just going in with the bronzing stick itself on the temples, I just swipe it there and I just kind of really using the dampness of the sponge to blend it out. Usually I like to use a dual fiber brush, but a sponge also works really well. These formulations are just super blendable and it meshes really well with the foundation and the kind of just the natural essence of your skin. So this is how it looks like. It's just really natural, and with natural light it sort of just looks a bit washed out, but in person there's definitely contouring going on. I featured some of these products in my IGTV, so you can definitely check it out there as well. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Gressa bronzing serum, which you guys saw me use previously, but I'm just going to use like one tiny dot, and I just want to kind of get that contour region here so you guys remember how pigmented this is. So this is definitely a bronzer that would suit deeper, darker skin tone women. So just really going in gently with this product. So what I do for a complexion like mine is I go in very little bit and I blend it at the back of my hand before going into the face. And I'm just lightly contouring this area. Okay, so I actually just turned off the ceiling light, so hopefully you guys can see my actual complexion a little bit better. The camera does make me look a little bit washed out, I'm not sure why. But yeah, I'm going in with a highlighter, a balm highlighter from Ere Perez. It's a vanilla highlighter in Sun Halo. It looks like that. It's just super gorgeous and super glossy. I love this. With the fingers or with a sponge, any application tool really works. Going in with a sponge quite liberally and just placing the highlight. This has like a very subtle bronze undertone, so it will definitely give a little bit of color to the cheek. So I'm not really precisely highlighting, I'm really going all over the cheek area. So it's like a kind of, it's a balm inside, but once it melts into the skin it feels very glossy and it gives this very natural sun-kissed shine, and it isn't like, you know, too glittery or too metallic. It's more of a gloss. I still like the Danessa Mavericks one because that one is clear and it doesn't have shimmers, but this is a good equivalent. So you can see the shine right there. It's so beautiful. Okay, and to finish off the complexion, I'm going in with a blush, the Carrot Colourpop from Ere Perez in the shade Healthy. It's this like peachy kind of mauvey shade with a dual fiber brush, really adding a little bit of a flush to the tops of the cheeks. And I can't believe how well all these products are meshing together. It's seriously a beautiful combination. I love using like all cream products, and if I feel like it's a little bit too shiny or it makes me look a bit oily, then I just use like a tissue just to dab it. I honestly don't like using powder because I feel like that's where it looks a lot more unnatural, or at least it is visible to the naked eye. So this blush is so beautiful. You can also use these color pops on the lips, but I will figure that out a little bit later. But oh my gosh, it's a very like balmy texture. It's not like liquid or oily, so this color pot itself is more like a true cream and it has a load of pigment. I had to actually like dust off a little bit at the back because it was really pigmented. Alright, so I have quite a lot of eye products to feature today. I'm so excited with this video. All these products honestly are so beautiful. So I featured the Gressa eye tint before, but I really want to re-emphasize how this shade in Roasted is like a beautiful taupey shade, and it feels kind of dry at this point, but I love that these products, once you warm it up, it becomes like a very beautiful cream again. So it's super pigmented, right? So I just blend it out on the back of my hand, just lightly using this as a base for the eyes and just sweeping it all over the eyelid. It's more grayish in undertone, so do be careful, don't apply too much. So that's my base using the Gressa eye tints. Using the Ere Perez Chamomile Eye Palette, look at this beautiful selection of colors. It's like an everyday palette. Clearly it's a lot of bronzy shades. It has some shimmers, but the shimmers fall a little bit more satin. It's not noticeable shimmers. I'm just going in with one of the mid-tone browns and just dusting it all over the lid. Really not being too precise with this. So what I really like about this chamomile palette, aside from the color range, because they're all like kind of neutral shades, is that I can just sweep it all over my eyes and be done. So you don't really need to think about it too much. It's just very neutral, and you can pair this also with, you know, more glamorous palettes, and I like to just use this as a base or a crease shade and then put on a shimmer and I'm good to go. So it's really nice. I also featured this in my IGTV. So from Roen Beauty, this is the 52 shade palette and it's a cool tone palette. I really want to try this shade. I'm using the Roen dual-ended brush as well. So let's see how this looks. So I really like the Roen brush because it's stiff enough for the textures of these shadows. These shadows really have quite an interesting formulation. It's pretty stiff and it works really well when you have like either using it with your fingers and really pressing into it, or a stiff brush. I'm just gonna use this shade right here. It's like such a beautiful cool tone shade, and it's like gonna be, obviously I'm going for like a very glam smoky eye. So I'm just putting that on the main part of the lid. It has very micro glitters that reflect on the silver side, so it's just very galactic kind of a shadow. I'm gonna use this shade right here with my fingers, and this feels almost like a cream, so I'm just gonna press it onto the middle of the lid. So this is how the eye looks. Hopefully you could see that, but oh my gosh, look at this color selection. Okay, so this is how the eye looks. Super beautiful. I believe this is definitely a cream because it feels super wet. I'm gonna use this shade right here on the pinpoint end of this brush and smoke out the upper lower lash and the lower outer lash. Last but not least, going in with the Gressa eye tint in the shade Aura. This is my favorite kind of sparkly top coat, but I also do like to use it as an inner corner highlight. From Ere Perez, this is the Colour Pot in Hello. I love this color. It's like so bright, and it's a red, but it's just so bright and I love it. It almost swings like a fuchsia version of a red, if that's even possible. But I apply it with my fingers, and I've kind of have a way of applying this, so do bear with me. I initially apply a layer down first so that this lasts throughout the whole day, which is why I'm even taking the time to add a lot of color and add a lot of the pigment down. Then I go in with a tissue and I just dab off the excess and I add another layer. You can also leave it like that because it's so pigmented already, but just add a little bit more in the middle. And I go in with the last and final, kind of removing the excess. And last but not least, this is my favorite lip oil from All Natural. I'm almost done with it, but yeah, it's a rose lip oil. I mean, the shade is rose, but it's a lip oil. And it has this just really nice translucent red color. Obviously I have a red lip now, but usually when I apply this on top of a nude lip liner, it looks great as well. But I like to add this for that gloss and that wet lip effect. And that's pretty much the final look, but I'm just gonna do a little bit of touch up with the highlighter and kind of give it a little bit more of a glamorous feel. That's pretty much what I was going for today, like really bold eyes and a bold lip and glossy skin. Okay, and this is my final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Also, probably gonna make this video really long because I featured so much products, but yeah, every time I do an organic brand full face, I am so pleasantly surprised with everything. And I like the very tactile approach to a lot of these packaging, which is like using your fingers or just, you know, using your palms, using the warmth of your hand just to get it looking really nice and natural on the skin. But yeah, I just can't say enough good things. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.